7 tips for getting back to school.
Right.
So number 1, find 4 crazy friends. I remember when I was in school, it was a very new experience, and I was in a dorm room at Penn State University, and I remember that I didn't really know anybody, and I'm Puerto Rican, and I come from a very Hispanic home, and all the people on my floor were pretty not Puerto Rican, so it was a whole different world for me. But I found 4 friends that I still talk to today: Jack, Brian, Ryan, and a whole bunch of other people. But I found 4 crazy.
Who's that 4th one?
I forget their name, but I have 4 friends. I promise you.
It's so crazy.
Jack,
you forget about
Brian, Ryan, and I think it was Lance. But so I have 4 crazy friends. I just remember I'm really close friends with 3 of them. The other Lance I don't really talk to, but it's okay. I had 4 crazy friends when I was in school, and so those friends really helped make my time there really fun. And also, just if you make it biblical, there was a time in the Bible when 4 crazy friends brought their paralyzed friend down in the middle of that home and asked Jesus to heal him, and Jesus did that. And so it's really crazy when you have 4 good friends that really just guide you, and they're there with you, and they're all going through the same experiences. They really keep you on the right path.
That's right.
All right, number 2 on this 7 tips for getting back to school. Number 2, double check all your classes. It's just like in Christmas time when they sing that song, he's gonna find out, he's checking it twice. So you need to check your classes twice, 3 times, 4 times. Make sure that those classes actually have anything to do with your final goal. And if you need to change it, don't be scared. Sometimes you get out there and you get scared to talk to your school counselor.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to bug them. Bug your school counselor.
Right.
Do not be scared to bug your school counselor. If they are defiant, then find out who's their boss and then bug them. One way or another, you deserve good classes, and that's what these people get paid to do. And we appreciate what they do, and the ones who do it right and they do it when they care for you, they change your life. But there are counselors out there that you might encounter that really just want to get you out and just finish you up as quick as possible, and they don't really check to see if those classes are going to benefit you. Have you had any experience? What was your experience with some counselors?
Well, I want to make sure I reference that scripture because that was found in Mark 2nd for number 1 with the 4 crazy friends. Just want to make sure you read that chapter. It's amazing.
Mark 2?
Mark 2, yes. It's going to be an amazing story. But yes, what's the question again?
So what has your experiences with school counselors been before?
School counselors are amazing. They're there to invest in your life, and they're there to also find out what track is best for you to be able to make the best decisions for your future. You got to remember, they're talking to students every single day, so they're experienced in the field, and they're there for you.
Yeah. Have you had any bad experiences?
I was a perfect kid in school, so I didn't need no when I was joking. No, I think in general, one of the cases was just, me getting along with new kids in the school, and they just kind of coached me along to make sure how to get familiarized with the kids and all that, because at the end of the day, everyone at some point in life is going to be the new kid on the block. So don't be pushed down. Make sure you stand your ground and make sure you make those friendships.
Yeah. So number 3, make your weekly budget. I can't tell you how important this one is for me, and for you. It's really important. I worked in college. I had a family that was supportive of me going to school, but I didn't have to work, but I still worked. I had a job. I remember I had a job at AT&T. I had a job at a country club. I had a job at a New Orleans restaurant. I had a job. Whatever I could find to make money, I made money. But mainly, when I was in college, I worked in the food field, and food industry, and I was a waiter, and I was wash dishes. And so it's really important that if you are making that money to be able to do fun stuff with your friends, that you also budget yourself. Because if you're not used to that, if you're not used to having to budget yourself during the week, you'll just spend money like it's coming back, and it's not going to come back.
That's right.
But I even have friends that lived off $25 a week.
Well, talking about that, that's based on, a lot of the audience is people that are also in high school.
Yeah.
And maybe you might not have a job, but you might get an allowance. Still be a good steward with what you have. Because at the end of the day, if you're a good steward with what you have now, then God will bless you with greater things.
Exactly. And if you do find a church locally, it's really important. Don't be scared to tithe or give offering at that local church or even in your school campus.
What is tithing?
Tithing is when you give, you give of your income to be able to allow God to bless you.
And how much do I give?
You can give as much as you want and as little as you want, or as much as you want. Biblically, it does say 10%, but honestly, it's whatever God tells you to give. It's a personal thing. I don't really like to touch on it. But I think it's good. 10% is a really good number to hit for. And then if you go above and beyond that, I know my family, when I was brought up, I have people in my family that were very wealthy that they would give sometimes 50% of their income to the church. So I think it's important. And then also, if you're in a school, you're going to be able to also give of your time. You're going to be able to give of your time, help your community service projects. Just don't be scared about that. So number 4, don't be afraid to try new things. Trying new things is so important when you're in a college atmosphere or getting back to school, because there's new clubs. Maybe you want to be a student campus leader, school president, school vice president, school treasurer. When I was in high school, I started one club called Student Awareness of World Issues. I was also a student body president. When I was in college, Tim and I actually worked together in college at one point when we were both going to Southeastern University at the same time. We did DOC missions, and Tim had started this working with community service and different shelters. And so it's really important that, don't be scared. For us, we were new to the area. We didn't know anything about living, because I also went to school in Florida and you went to school in Florida. We didn't know anything about Florida, but we just threw ourselves into it and learned met new people, learned new things. So don't be scared, because in that moment, it's really helped us to be who we are now, to help people out. Right?
One of the biggest things while you're in school, whether you're in high school or you're in college, is do not be a follower, be a leader.
Yeah.
Take the initiative. It's easy to follow. It's easy to, hey, ask a friend, what are you doing this weekend? Rather than you go to your friends and go, this is what I'm doing this weekend. And I'll tell you, in the beginning of it was not easy. In the beginning to tell, but to ask people, hey, would you like to do a homeless outreach? But at the end of the day, it became the main theme of every single week. Are you going to come out and do homeless outreach? And so you can change the theme, you can change the tidal wave and the conversations. And that was the biggest thing, at least for us on our heart, was change the conversation. One of the biggest things that we encountered with DOC missions and the outreach was the fact that we gave people hope, we gave people purpose, those that we were helping, but more importantly, yourselves. Because a lot of people, especially at the school, they're on the Xbox, they're playing Nintendo 64 at the time, but whatever the case is, they're playing and they're not being fulfilled, and those the very same people were able to jump out of their comfort zone and really make an impact into the world.
Yeah, so we worked and Tim had started a homeless mission work in his school. So if you feel led to do that, you can contact us and we can really give you some pointers on how you could do that locally.
How can they contact us?
They can contact us shininglightglobal.com. Visit our website. We'll have a bunch of different information there for you, and you can contact us there at shininglightglobal.com. All right, so number 5, there's an app on your phone. If you have a phone, download this app. It's called QUIZLET. QUIZLET.
Not Quiznos?
No, QUIZLET. QUIZLET. And there's also a website, QUIZLET.com. Okay. Now, QUIZLET is really great. I remember I'm also I have a finance license, and I'm licensed in the finance industry. And I remember when I was taking my exams for that, I would use QUIZLET to study for that. And I also was studying. I remember when I wanted to go to law school and I took the LSAT, I used QUIZLET to study for that. You can look up, if you're in college and you're looking up exams, and you want to know questions about certain exams you're going to take, look up your teacher, look up that exam on QUIZLET, because you might be surprised to find the questions that you need to study right on that app. People put up their own questions. They put up, their postcards. And QUIZLET's really cool. You can look at your phone like this, and it'll show postcards of questions and answers that you can read. Even in your car, there's an audio voice. I would even hook it up to my car and listen to the lady talk as I drove of all the questions that were inside of the app. Yeah, it's really awesome. All right, so number 6, one of the biggest things when we go back to school, and if you come from church background or if you don't, one big important thing is that you want to stay connected to God. That's right. A really great way that I found to stay connected daily to God, and it's very easy, is to use this website, d365.org. d365.org. Now this website is called devotional365.org or d365.org, and it's really great because each day of the year they'll give you a devotion that you can read, and they'll give you, if you're reading the Bible, they'll give you a Bible verse. If you want something that is just inspirational, they'll give you an inspirational message. If you just want to read a quote, they'll give you a positive quote. So you hit all those 3 areas on every day, something new. I love it. Wow. And number 7, schedule yourself and be on time.
Woo!
Right?
Schedules, and what would you say? What's the best way to do it?
I mean, I think I use my phone a lot for an alarm clock.
Now you would think this is simple and easy, but to be honest, it's a hard task for everyone to do this. So.
Yeah, I'm Spanish, so Spanish people do not always like to be on time. I literally see a clock and I know I can be able to move, and something inside me says, "Why? Let's hang out a little bit longer." I have to live life.
So look up on Google Apps or
that's
on
not the
your
way to
Apple
live.
apps and just find an alarm clock that would suit you, because at the end of the day, you know, there's all these different ones where you can assign your ringtone, and at the end of the day, make it fun. You know what the best way is to be able to wake
Make
up in
it
the
fun.
Wake up in the morning.
Make it fun.
Wake up in the morning and be like, wow, how can I change the world today? And if you look at it from that perspective, it's easy to get out of that bed. But if you look at it the perspective like you have to get out of the bed because you are told to go to school at 8 o'clock, or you're told to go to school to your classes, then it becomes really boring. So make your life exciting.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. When you wake up in the morning, say, let's change the world today. And then get on your phone or on your calendar and start scheduling your day out.
Yeah.
Make sure you're on time. I mean, teachers do not like it when students are late, especially if you're in college and it's a small class environment. You need to be able to be on time. Now, you might get away with it if you have, like, sometimes I was at Penn State and I would have like 300 people in the class. You can get away with it then. But
Don't take his advice about that part.
But don't get away with it.
Don't get away with it.
Don't
Be
get away
on
with it.
time.
Just be on time. Be at the front of the class.
Now, I want to also mention that when you are at class, whether in high school or in college, at the end of the day, you might go exhausted, and you might be completely submerged with all these tasks of school assignments. Take a notepad, get your iPhone, get your tablet out, and just write down a to-do list. They say that if you can write tasks the day before, you're able to accomplish it much better.
Yeah, awesome. So that's all we have, the 7 tips. Let me go through them one more time with you. Number 1, find 4 crazy friends. Number 2, double check all your classes. Check them once, twice, 3 times, and don't be afraid to bug your counselor until you get them right.
That's right.
Number 3, make your weekly budget. Find out how much money you're going to get, or get a job so that you'll be able to make more money and make that budget. Don't be afraid, number 4, to try new things. Don't be afraid to try new things. Get involved. Get out of your comfort zone. Help out your local community if you're in a new city. Number 5, download this app, QUIZLET, or go to their website, QUIZLET.com. It's a great place to be able to find resources that will help you study. Number 6, stay connected to God.
That's right.
Go to d365.org, d365.org, and make sure you stay connected either with a Bible verse, an inspirational message, or a nice quote. Number 7, schedule yourself and be on time. I know it's difficult, especially if you're Latino like me, to be on time, but it's very important for people who are watching you all the time, and they want you to be successful, and so therefore they want you to be on time.
And the best way to do it is change your perspective every day to ask yourself how I can change the world.
How can you change the world? All right, so this is Shining Light. We love y'all. Make sure you visit our website to see all the events that we have coming up, shininglightglobal.com.